Imagine the sky turning completely dark, not from an approaching storm, but from a sheer volume of the world's most advanced fighter jets swarming the horizon. Welcome back to the channel, aviation and defense enthusiasts. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most highly anticipated military aviation events of the decade, Exercise Pitch Black 2026. Hosted by the Royal Australian Air Force in the vast, unforgiving skies of the Northern Territory, this premier biennial tactical air combat exercise is set to be a monumental display of aerial supremacy, global logistics, and international military cooperation. Before we get into the details, we must issue a crucial disclaimer. At this moment, the official roster of participating aircraft for Exercise Pitch Black 2026 has not yet been confirmed by the Australian Department of Defence or any of the participating allied nations. The information we are sharing today regarding the potential hardware soaring through the top-end skies is highly educated speculation. To build this predictive lineup, we are making extensive reference to the official releases from the previous Exercise Pitch Black held in 2024, as well as recent defense statements regarding the upcoming 2026 iteration. We will analyze the 19 participating partner countries alongside the host nation and discuss the possible aircraft they might deploy based on their historical participation, current fleet readiness, and strategic objectives in the Indo-Pacific region. Let's begin with the host nation, Australia. The Royal Australian Air Force has historically utilized Exercise Pitch Black as the ultimate testing ground for its high-end platforms. In 2024, Australia brought an impressive array of fifth-generation stealth fighters and electronic warfare platforms. For 2026, it is highly probable that we will once again see the formidable F-35A Lightning II taking the lead in complex air-to-air and air-to-ground missions. Alongside the Lightning II, the combat-proven FA-18F Super Hornet is expected to make a strong showing. Furthermore, the electronic battlefield will likely be dominated by the EA-18G Growler, an aircraft dedicated to jamming enemy radar and communications. To coordinate this massive multinational force, Australia will undoubtedly deploy the E-7A Wedgetail airborne early warning and control aircraft for air-to-air refueling, which is critical for the extended missions over the massive training areas. The KC-30, a multi-role tanker transport, will be an essential asset. Moving across the Pacific, the United States is always a cornerstone participant in these large-scale exercises. In 2024, the United States Air Force made global headlines by deploying the ultra-advanced F-22A Raptor to pitch black for the very first time. Given the escalating strategic importance of the Indo-Pacific theater, it is very possible that the United States will bring the F-22A Raptor back for 2026, or alternatively, send squadrons of their own F-35A Lightning II stealth fighters. We might also see versatile multi-role fighters like the F-16 Fighting Falcon or the F-15E Strike Eagle. The presence of United States bomber aircraft, such as the B-52 Stratofortress or the B-1 Lancer, flying long-range strike integration missions from distant bases, is also a distinct possibility that thrills aviation spotters and defense analysts alike. Now, let us shift our focus to the European continent, which is showing an unprecedented level of commitment to Indo-Pacific security. The United Kingdom, a stalwart ally, is anticipated to return with its Eurofighter Typhoon FG-R4 multi-role fighters. In previous iterations, the Royal Air Force demonstrated incredible logistical reach by deploying these fighters alongside their Voyager multi-role tanker transport aircraft. France, too, is expected to make a powerful statement. Following their massive Pacific Skies deployment in 2024, the French Air and Space Force will likely bring their highly capable Dassault Rafale fighters, supported by their own A330 multi-role tanker transport aircraft. Spain, having made its pitch black debut in 2024, might return with their own Eurofighter Typhoons, proving that European air forces can sustain high-tempo combat operations on the other side of the globe. A particularly exciting development for Exercise Pitch Black 2026 is the addition of two Nordic nations, Finland and Sweden. Their participation highlights a growing global network of defense partnerships. while their specific aircraft are strictly not yet confirmed. We can make solid predictions based on their current Air Force inventories. Finland currently operates the FA-18C and D Hornet and is in the process of transitioning to the F-35A. It is highly possible they will deploy their trusty Hornets to the Australian outback. Sweden, renowned for its indigenous aerospace industry, would logically bring the highly agile JAS-39 Gripen. The Gripen is famous for its short-field performance, ruggedness, and electronic warfare capabilities, making it a fascinating addition to the complex, multi-threat scenarios planned for the Australian skies. Looking toward the Asian powerhouses, India remains a critical strategic partner in the region. The Indian Air Force has been a consistent and impressive participant. In 2024, they deployed their heavy, twin-engine Sukhoi Su-30MK I flankers. The sight of these massive, thrust-vectoring fighters maneuvering through the Northern Territory was a major highlight. For 2026, it is highly possible we will see the flankers return, supported by their heavy airlift fleet, such as the C-17 Globemaster III and their Elysian IL-78 mid-air refueling tankers. Japan is another technological giant expected to participate. The Japan Air Self-Defense Force could bring their Mitsubishi F-2 fighters, which are heavily modified derivatives of the F-16, or they might deploy their F-15J interceptors. Alternatively, Japan could bring their own F-35A stealth fighters to practice fifth-generation integration with Australia and the United States. The Republic of Korea has been steadily increasing its international military footprint. Based on their participation in previous exercises, it is very possible they will send their heavy-hitting F-15K Slam Eagles or their versatile KF-16 fighters. Singapore, a nation with a highly advanced and meticulously maintained air force, is a regular attendee at Pitch Black. Given their limited domestic airspace, the vast ranges of northern Australia provide a crucial training ground. We can predict the possible participation of their F-15SG and F-16C and D fighters, accompanied by their own A-330 multi-role tanker transport aircraft to extend their time on station during the massive vulnerability windows of the exercise. Let us not forget the vital contributions of Australia's Southeast Asian neighbors. The Philippines made history in 2024 by deploying combat aircraft abroad for the very first time. They brought their FA-50PH Golden Eagle Light combat aircraft, a monumental milestone for the Philippine Air Force. It is highly anticipated, though not absolutely confirmed, that the Philippines will return in 2026 to build upon the foundational interoperability skills they developed during their spectacular debut. Indonesia, sharing a direct maritime border with Australia, is a critical partner. They are likely to deploy their F-16 Fighting Falcons. Malaysia, another key regional player, has historically brought their FA-18D Hornets, utilizing the exercise to practice complex strike packages and defensive counter-air missions. Thailand could also make a strong appearance, possibly bringing their JAS-39 Gripen fighters or their F-16 Fighting Falcons. The exercise also heavily involves Pacific partners and neighboring island nations. Papua New Guinea, the world's youngest air force, made a profound impact in 2024 by sending their PAC-750 light transport aircraft. These rugged, single-engine utility planes became a familiar and welcome sight, carrying essential personnel and visitors between remote bases. We anticipate Papua New Guinea will return in 2026, continuing to integrate their logistical capabilities with larger coalition forces. Furthermore, nations like Canada, New Zealand, Fiji, and Brunei are expected to provide invaluable personnel. While they might not bring large formations of fighter jets, their embedded specialists, ranging from intelligence officers and air traffic controllers to combat support and logistics experts, are the absolute backbone of an exercise of this colossal magnitude. Canada and New Zealand might also contribute tactical airlift capabilities, such as the C-130 Hercules or maritime patrol aircraft, like the P-8A Poseidon. The logistical footprint required to host an exercise of this massive magnitude is staggering. Operations will be primarily staged out of 3 major hubs: Royal Australian Air Force Base Darwin will serve as the central nervous system of the operation, hosting a massive portion of the international fighter contingents and acting as the primary headquarters for mission planning and execution. Hundreds of miles to the south, Royal Australian Air Force Base Tyndall will also host a significant number of combat aircraft. Tyndall's strategic location offers immediate access to the vast Delamere Air Weapons Range and the Bradshaw Field Training Area, providing an unencumbered, massive airspace where supersonic flight and electronic warfare can be practiced without disrupting civilian air traffic. Furthermore, Royal Australian Air Force Base Amberley, located much further away on the eastern coast, will play a critical role. Amberley will likely serve as the primary launching pad for the heavy multi-role tanker transport aircraft and long-range strategic airlift operations. The coordination required to synchronize refueling tracks originating from Amberley with fighter formations launching from Darwin and Tyndall requires absolute precision and flawless communication. The sheer scale of exercise Pitch Black is difficult to overstate. It involves coordinating dozens of different aircraft types, navigating massive language and procedural barriers, and operating in a harsh, demanding environment. The ultimate goal is to enhance regional stability, deter aggression, and ensure that if these nations are ever called upon to fight alongside one another, they can do so seamlessly. The interoperability gained from flying complex, simulated combat missions against skilled aggressor squadrons is invaluable. Pilots and ground crews learn each other's tactics, techniques, and procedures, building a shared understanding that cannot be replicated in a traditional classroom setting. Once again, before we wrap up, we must emphasize that the aircraft included in this narrative are not yet confirmed. The lists provided are our best assessments based strictly on the precedents set during Exercise Pitch Black 2024 and the publicly declared strategic goals of the 19 allied and partner nations heading to the top end in 2026. The Australian Department of Defence and the respective participating militaries will release the official flight line details closer to the commencement of the exercise in July. Until then, the global defense community can only wait with bated breath and speculate on what incredible flying machines will grace the Australian skies. In conclusion, Exercise Pitch Black 2026 is shaping up to be an unparalleled demonstration of air power, international diplomacy, and logistical mastery. From the stealth capabilities of the F-35 and F-22 to the heavy lifting power of the C-17 Globemaster, the skies over the Northern Territory will be a veritable museum of modern military aviation. The participation of European partners like the United Kingdom, France, Spain, Sweden, and Finland, alongside Asian giants like India, Japan, and Korea, proves that security in the Indo-Pacific is a truly global concern. We want to hear from you. Which aircraft are you most hoping to see at Exercise Pitch Black 2026? Do you think the new Nordic participants will bring their signature fighters, or will we see unprecedented surprises from the United States and host nation Australia? Let us know your thoughts and your own predictions in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of military aviation and international defense exercises, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update on global defense news. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video where we continue to track the final preparations for this massive undertaking in the Australian outback.